as always, our front row specialities. Beautiful day today, so I really do appreciate your time for coming along, and I know that so many of you have been looking forward to hearing Joanna speak, our guest tonight, and as usual I'll just intro and run you through, let you know really why Escape the Rat Race exists and my story and what made me set this up and where we're heading basically. So it's an enjoyable little journey that we're on. So just to run through the itinerary for tonight, so I'll give you an introduction till 7:20, and at 7:20 we'll hand over to Joanne Martin for tonight's main presentation. And then at the end we're going to do the breakaway sessions, which are really popular in January. So we've launched a couple of programs this year to help people make that choice and take that direction. And we have Rohit at the back, if we give everyone a wave. So myself and Rohit have launched the property mentoring program last month, and Rohit will be around at the end. If property is something you're interested in and you're looking for a little bit of help to get further established and build your portfolio, then Rohit will answer any questions for you at the end. And I'll run through as well in a moment. We've launched a business mentoring program, so I'll be around to speak to anyone who wants to talk with regards to that. And of course those VIP members who have paid for the Q&A session with Joanna, we'll hold that in here at the end. Okay? So the reason why we're here, well, I always open with this slide, and I imagine that most people have probably read at least one of these books. Has anyone not heard of any of these books at all? Exactly. I think it's pretty much the route that I took, and it's nearly 10 years ago now when I was first introduced by my friend Talesh, actually, who's at the back there on Snapchat and capturing everything. So Talesh, actually, when I got back from travelling in 2004, I'd been in Australia for a year and I'd been travelling around Asia, came back, didn't have a job, and I was like, wow, this is like the next phase, what am I doing? And Talesh put a Jim Rohn CD in the car and said, have a listen to this. And I was like, wow, I've never heard anything like that. And that really set me on a path, and I guess this is the path that began back then in 2004. So Think and Grow Rich, another classic book. And the path, my background, after listening to that Jim Rohn CD, my background was the music industry. So when I left college, I didn't want to go through the university route. I was kind of fed up with studying, and I was really getting into clubbing and DJing. So I bought some decks and I was going out like Saturday to Sunday, all weekend. And my job was hanging out with these guys basically. So since, 1998, when I first got into the music industry, I managed dance music record labels. So these are some of the artists that I've been privileged to work with. And it was actually up until 2014 when I decided, okay, there's a choice I need to make. Either continue this, which was a pretty cool job. My friends were like, are you insane to be leaving, doing all that partying? Or go back to what was really burning inside of me. And that was the personal development, that was achieving something amazing, really building something of my own that I could be proud of, that I could be in complete control of. And I'll ask any of you, is that something that resonates with anyone here, that you maybe have got something inside you and it's telling you, I just got to do this, I don't want to be under the shackles of a boss who's saying that's how much you're going to get paid every month and you have to do this and that for me. Yeah? So that was the choice I made, and as I say, music industry, I gave up in 2014 and I set up Escape the Rat Race. And what I set up was just a small networking group at the time, I thought. And on the first Meetup last year, we had about 40 people turn up, and I was blown away, and I thought, wow, there's something here, we've definitely connected. And since then, these are just some of the guest speakers that we've had. And we've covered so many different topics. So we've had Jerry Robert, who regularly speaks on stage with Anthony Robbins, and he shared with us how you can publish a book and how you can really excel yourself in that route. We have my personal mentor for trading, Zahir Anwari. We have Vicky Boucher, who is voted in the top 20 business property entrepreneurs in the UK. And many others, Paul O'Mahony, and I'll slip Joanna in there as well. I realised we were a bit short on females, so I thought we have to even this up. And we cover everything because it really is my mission. The purpose of Escape the Rat Race is to bring people that I feel can offer genuine value to you. People that I've either worked with or have been personal recommendations to you. And I feel confident that if you need help deciding what's the route or how do I get that little bit further in the business idea that I have, then these people can help you. So, that's really my mission with Escape the Rat Race. So, moving swiftly on. I've just shown you a little bit of my story, how I made the decision to leave a pretty sweet job and just give it all up and take that jump from employee to entrepreneur. So we know it's possible, and I certainly haven't fully made it yet, but I feel confident I'm absolutely on the right direction. And the question is, what's stopping you? So if I can just ask anyone who's maybe got something that's holding them back, whether it's the connections, the skills, anyone willing to share just what they find is the challenge with making that jump from employment?
I think it's just, it's time actually, because sometimes sort of being able to say, right, I am going to make that commitment to put the time in and do the maths and think, yeah, I could go down to 4 days a week, that's fine. Weighing up what's more important really, so you can still keep everything going, but then focus on your goals as well.
So not having enough time to focus on the business, right? Yeah.
Be a bit of a...
It's a tricky one for all of us, I think, isn't it? And it obviously comes down to priorities. And I know there's many things that take up our time. But I believe when you have a burning desire and it becomes so strong that enough is enough, then you kind of find those extra minutes and hours, don't you? But we're here together to help one another. So whatever those challenges are. What about yourself, May?
I find I actually have more time, but less financial security. Because I'm sure that's something you can relate to, because I do work part-time because I find that my job is quite physically demanding, but that frees up a lot of mental energy for me to be able to work on my business. And because I was fresh out of coaching school just a couple of months ago, and I graduated from university last year, and so just finding a part-time job just to get me going, and then I found all of this as well. And so now it's just me kind of financing myself along the way, to all the little business expenses, they do add up. And it's hard on a part-time wage and paying rent.
So monetize, so you've chosen what it is that you love and the path you want to take, it's just monetizing that a bit more. Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, I'm sure Joanna can help with some tips on that tonight. Anyone else? Yes, Deborah?
I'm not employed, however, I do get stuck in detail, which stops me going forward.
Right.
Often.
Tell me about it. Yeah, overwhelm anyone? Yeah, procrastination. Yeah, it's I don't know if there's anyone who's nailed this completely. I think you can really you can get better and you can work on this. Again, I'm sure Joanna, you may have some help with regards to that. I know sometimes I have a to-do list at the morning and in the evening, it's exactly the same. And that happens, and that's frustrating, and I totally, absolutely know how you mean there, Deborah. So there's some tips and tricks I can help, I can share some of the things that have helped for me, and I'll actually just let you all know, the website, which I've been threatening to launch for God knows how many months, is closed. I've got a meeting. I have a meeting with the web guy tomorrow, so he's going to show me that first draft, and hopefully we'll be well on our way. And then I'm going to have a load of resources there and loads of trainings and stuff, so that hopefully will help. Yeah. Great. So really, just to recap here, who's read Rich Dad Poor Dad knows about the cash flow quadrant? Okay, great. So I haven't really got to explain it, hopefully, but just to show really that what we're doing here is really looking to make that transition from the employee lifestyle, which nothing wrong with that at all, but the reason we're here, I believe, is because we really don't want a cap on our income, and we want that freedom of time and doing what we love. So that's really about making that transition over to the right-hand side, where the business owner, where you own the system. So we're not talking about getting even busier and being self-employed, where you think you can do that job, really great, you leave, you become a one-man band, and suddenly you're wearing the hats of the entrepreneur, where you're doing the accounts and the marketing, the sales and everything. May's nodding, yes, that's where I'm at. So with this in mind, create a business, create profits, buy assets, and that's really how we're looking at generating wealth. So, as I say, with this in mind, this year, I'm very proud to say we launched the Business Mentoring Programme, which is a 12-month programme. Got a couple, Laura here, so some of the guys there who are on the programme, and this is with my coach, my personal business mentor, John Ketley, and we launched this, and it's going amazingly well. We're seeing some real progress even in the first 3 or 4 months this year. So if you've got an idea and you're just not quite sure, or haven't got time, just don't know what to do with it, I don't know what the steps are, I've never run a business before, and this is exactly the kind of coaching that we're offering here. And it's a half a day every month, and group calls. It's a really tight-knit group of people, and everyone's helping each other, and we're really accelerating quickly now. So, so if you're interested in that, at the end we'll do the breakaway sessions, and you can have a chat with me about that. Happy to answer any questions. Okay. Oh. Another slide. So I changed all my slides today, so I'm just doing this all for you. So yeah, on the Business Breakthrough Day, just to give you a bit more idea, 12 months there, we have the perfect business model. So the first 3 months, definitive purpose, you know, why do you want to do this? You know, there's probably something inside you that's driving you, but you're really clear about that, because when you do make that leap, on those dark days when you wake up and nothing's going right and, you know, money's not coming in, you have to be very clear. There has to be something that still drives you and pulls you forward. So getting really clear, and definitive purpose, USP and brand is all really mindset, because it all begins with the mindset. In fact, the whole Escape the Rat Race, really, foundations of the mindset, because it's getting that real belief that you can achieve it. Because, you know, we all hear the stories, the laptop lifestyle, people making millions, but it's possible, okay? And it's not get rich quick, but you can have those things. I genuinely believe that. And that's why I invite speakers who have already, they're walking that path. So it is possible, okay? So that just gives you an idea. We're running Business Breakthrough Days, which are a real good opportunity to just come and get a taster. Spend a whole day with myself and John, and we'll go through that idea you may have, and we'll help you plan that out. So the next couple of days we have available are the 28th of May and the 25th of June, and they'll be held here. And that will help you get that clarity. And as I say, if you've got no idea how to start a business and what the processes are, then I really highly encourage you to come along to one of these days. And on your form, just tick the box, and then I can send you further details of those. Okay. Also, due to the demand of the members of the group, and because property is last year, the property mentoring program, and last month's Meetup, we went through all the different strategies that are available to you to start investing in property. So you can see some of them there: buy-to-let, HMOs, which is house with multiple occupancy, where you have many people, you know, house sharing, essentially, lease options, sourcing, rent to rent. And the property mentoring program, again, will be an opportunity to work with Rohit, who has a portfolio of £1.5 million, growing quickly. Myself, I source property deals, so really getting some time with us to help you get on that path and build your property business too. Okay, so there are a couple of the programs just to help, and please let me know if you have any questions regarding those. I mentioned the feedback forms. Just before we move on to Joanna tonight, I'd ask you that you please do fill in the form for me. It's really good feedback for me. It helps me steer the ship, make sure that we're on the right track, and most importantly, that I'm inviting the speakers that you guys want, you know, because it's not about me, it's about you guys. And Joanna was highly recommended by one of my team members, and as soon as I announced, you know, I know a lot of people are really excited about coming to hear Joanna tonight.